Alright, time for another Ben 10 review. Like I said, I'm doing Brainstorm and Big Chill, but I also forgot about Goop almost, so I'm going to include him in this and make it a 3-alien review. So let us start with Goop, since he was the first to come out. Wouldn't want to not go chronological. Alright, here is Goop with his translucent figure, which is basically in the same pose he's in. And not much about him, I already showed him in my Omnitrix review, which hopefully you'll check out. Now, Goop is done really well. I really like him. I didn't think I was going to like him that much when I picked him up, because, I don't know, I just didn't. But it looks really nice. It's really done in a really nice green see-through plastic, which makes him look really good and show-like, and I don't know, I just really enjoy it. I don't know what it is that's so appealing about it. A little backstory on Goop. He was first used in the episode... I'm sorry, but I can't remember the name of it, but it's the episode when Ben fought against his rival bully. At the beginning of the episode, when he fought the robot that took over his bully, whose name is Kaz. Anyway, Goop can mold himself into any shape, any size, expand himself. He weighs 200 pounds, I guess. And it's all controlled by this, it seems. I don't know whether there's like an alien living in there controlling this, or it's just part of him. I don't know. Maybe that'll be explained later. But anyway, enough about Goop. Here is his figure. Now, articulation-wise, he is about as articulated as the others. 360 arm bending. 360 arm bending. These do not bend. They're kind of like moldy blocks, and they're actually kind of suction cups. They're not really suction cups, but they're just hollow there. But they do go back and forth. Not quite so much back. Can't really distinguish those. It looks pretty nice. This little alien thing, is detachable. So if you want it to look like that, you can. Now my complaint about this is, though it would probably be flimsy, I would, instead of having this clear plastic attachment, I would have just attached this right to his head. Just because, I mean, you can't see it really when he's displayed, but it still kind of distracts me. As you can see, like, you see the line. Like, I could have attached it right here. It would have been flimsy, and I guess for little kids it would come off easy, but for collectors like me who don't play with them, it would have been nice. But that's really not much of a complaint. He's extremely bland, because he's all one color, but it's done very nicely. Looks very cool. His eyes are really cartoon accurate. It picks it up. The Omnitrix is done well. Overall, a great figure. I'm going to give Goop an 8 out of 10. Pick him up if you find him. Brainstorm! Alright, here's my review for Brainstorm, who comes with his translucent figure. Which is not much to say about it, except I've seen it and you've seen it in my review of the Omnitrix. Brainstorm is a pretty nice figure. It looks like just out of the cartoon. Like I've said before, they seem to be getting better and better as they come out. Maybe it's just he's easier to design. Brainstorm's power is he's super intelligent, like gray matter. He can shoot lightning out of his brain and create force fields, which makes him pretty useful. He's medium usage in the show, I'd guess, but he's actually pretty useful. Articulation-wise, he can move 360 his waist. His legs don't articulate these little tentacles, but that makes sense. His arms can go 360, but they're hindered by that. But the way he's posed, you can kind of get him like just kind of this like really smart-looking pose to me. I don't know. As you can see, his cranium is closed right now, but there's hinges on the back, and then they open up like this. And I've actually seen another figure like this, which has a gimmick, and I thought about picking him up because I got impatient waiting for this guy. But I'm glad I waited because he was cheaper. Now, Brainstorm is really worth it. He like Jet Ray and Spider Monkey and Echo, he really looks a lot like the cartoon. And if you're a fan of him, you should pick him up right now. Although he's probably not widely available right now, since I think he just released and I've only seen him in one place. But that could be me just here in my small state. But I will highly recommend picking him up if you're a fan. Brainstorm gets an 8.7 out of 10. Alright, now we are going on to Big. Alright, here's Big Chill, who I also just picked up today. I'm surprised to find. And his translucent figure. Alright, that's about the translucent figure. Big Chill is my second favorite alien, and he's really kick-ass looking, despite being able to lay eggs like a mother, which you'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen the series. This is a very kick-ass figure. Big Chill is like a cross between Ghost Freak and Articulation from Ben 10,000. He can fly, that's nerdy. Which is kind of unique. Even though Jet Ray can fly, they decided to include that. He can freeze things with his mouth, and he can pass through objects and become invisible like Ghost Freak. Now, there was an episode where I thought he might become like Ghost Freak and be a rebellious alien, but actually he was just laying eggs like I just mentioned. And it might have just been me, but I think in the concept design he was originally supposed to be just this piece and no wings, and they might have included that later. Alright, enough about the big shell, and let's talk about the figure itself. Now, articulation-wise, let me zoom out to see that. He can move his arms a full 360, like I always say, it's possible if these weren't here. And his legs move up and down. Whoops, this pops off. But they don't bend, and this is what you pay for, is that the detail's really nice, but he doesn't have any more no more bending. I hope this doesn't become a trend, but it doesn't really matter. And he's also in that weird pose where his hands are down, like Echo. But it's still pretty cool. He's very, very nicely detailed, and he looks really kick-ass, just like the shell. Very, very nicely detailed. Even the wings in the back are very moth-like detailed, which is really cool. His head does go 360. You have to pop that out. This little thing, this little antenna type thing, pops off. Mine pops off really easily, but don't let that hinder you, because I pulled it off at first, but now it's popping off really easily, because I was wondering. Now, the wings, they can fold all the way back onto themselves, like this, which is actually how it was packaged, so that it could fit into the package, and then they can go out, and you can make them in flapping positions. Now, I was personally hoping that when this figure came out, that they were going to have this wings as detachable, and then another attachment for his hoodie-like thing. But like I've said with other reviews, they'll probably do a battle version and probably have that. Or maybe possible an opening up version. I really would have liked that instead of milking it for a second figure. But maybe if they do that, I could at least include a closed version, hoodie version of his Omnitrix thing. But that's a pretty minor nitpick. Overall, he's one of the skinnier figures, just like Chromastone and Swamp Fire, but he's more filled out and looks more cartoonish than most of the thinner figures. So I would highly recommend picking him up. He's my second favorite alien. He's kick-ass. Doesn't have as great of articulation, but he's very kick-ass looking. Once he becomes widely available, you should pick him up if you're a Ben 10 fan. 9 out of 10. Dawson Rider, signing out.